episode 3 of season 1 of the Twilight Zone, we get our first Western episode. It's called Mr. Denton on Doomsday. A title that makes you think it's a post-apocalyptic episode. It's actually a Western. Well, this is a science fiction series. This came out in 1959, so they have so many Western sets that they can use. We got some really great actors like Martin Landau in this one. So it starts with the town drunk, Mr. Al Denton, getting bullied. And this is very effective since his bully is making him sing and dance for the opportunity to be able to purchase just a little bit of alcohol. And this goes on for the entire first half of the episode. You feel more and more sorry for Mr. Denton, and you really want him to get revenge on this bully. It's a good use of the bully being extremely mean, but not doing anything that's 100% illegal. It's not that he's threatening to shoot him in the head or trying to beat him to a bloody pulp. He's just being an overall dick. His band of yahoos constantly makes him sing this song and dance for them. Al Denton used to be a quick drawing gunslinger, but now he's the town drunk, and he's not up for any duels at this point, so he doesn't have the ability to defend himself. The bully's name is Dan. It's played by Martin Landau, who had an amazing career starting in the 50s and going all the way up until the 2010s. He died in 2017 at the age of 89, but he was acting up until 2017. He was Leonard in Alfred Hitchcock's North by Northwest. It was Bela Lugosi and Ed Wood. And you for sure have seen him in something, and he does a really great job here. You really hate this guy and want him to just leave Mr. Denton alone. Mr. Denton himself is played by Dan DeYuri, who was in one of my favorite film noir movies, 1949's Too Late for Tears, where he also has a scene where he plays a drunk and keeps getting screwed over by the sly Elizabeth Scott. So far we don't really know where this episode is going. He's being bullied, he's a drunk, until a mysterious peddler, Mr. Fate, rolls into town, and he has just the right elixir for Mr. Denton. If he wants to get his quick drawing powers back, he just takes a sip of this potion, and for 10 seconds he can hit anything, and he demonstrates this, with a tin can from far away being knocked off by Mr. Denton's precise bullet. And unfortunately, he ends up facing at the end, not the bully in the beginning, Martin Landau, but another gunslinger who has come into this town to challenge him. Seems like one of the reasons he became a drunk is because he was so good at dueling that people would travel from all across America to specifically challenge him. And he would wake up in the morning, do a duel, win, wake up the next day, have to do another duel, win, but this really messed with his psyche. He didn't want to be the fastest slinger in the West anymore, but he does need some power to help with these bullies. He kind of dropped the bully backstory, and it ends with him doing a duel of someone that comes in to challenge him. Pete Grant. But we see that this peddler has given potions to other people as well, so in a hilarious scene, they both hit the potion and then shoot at each other and both take out their right gunslinging arm. A great ending to the story, where now Mr. Denton doesn't have to do any more duels, and neither does this other guy, Pete Grant. But also, it looks like he's not going to be able to use his right arm for the rest of his life either. Not sure exactly what the morality of this tale is. I guess don't become an alcoholic. But I really like the ending. I just don't understand why they didn't do it with the bully at the beginning, Martin Landau. The whole story should have been building up to the duel with him, and then they could have ended it the same way, or maybe he could have killed him and lost his arm another way. But that's really the only demerit for this episode. I wasn't necessarily excited about a Western episode of Twilight Zone. I like the science fiction ones better. But it deals with magic potions, and man, do they pull this off great. The acting is pitch perfect, and you really want Mr. Denton to win, but at the end, it seems to be a wash. Not exactly back where he started. Hopefully his drinking days are done, and he won't have to do any more duels, but man, getting shot in the arm must suck. So I'm going to give Mr. Denton on Doomsday a 7 out of 10. I really like this episode. And it's not one that I'd seen before, and not one that really gets mentioned in the top 10 Twilight Zone episodes. But another one written by Rod Serling. You can tell, even though he writes so many of these episodes, he takes care in developing characters and always has memorable endings. I love the way this one ends, but it is hard to watch at times since it is such a sad episode. It says here that Dan Duryea, Mr. Denton, was paid $5,000 for his 4 days of work on the episode. Now, that seems like a lot of money. This was 1959, so I looked up what that would mean in today's money, and that would be $54,000 in today's money. A nice paycheck for a guy that just has to act drunk the entire time. And this was also the first Twilight Zone episode to be rerun. Next up is the 16mm Shrine. That is Rob Sterling doing his best Sunset Boulevard impression. I love Sunset Boulevard. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, but man, does this completely rip it off. with a faded film star who stays in her large mansion watching movies of herself all the time and reminding the people around her that she used to be a star. Is this as good as Sunset Boulevard? Well, stay tuned for when we review it in a few days to see for yourself. And also check out our playlist for the other series that we've covered: Tales from the Dark Side, Monsters, Fear Itself, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Mr. Science Theater 3000, Cowboy Bebop, and Pet Shop of Horrors. Thanks a lot.
To those well known, each movie, each show, each Twilight Zone. He's got that charm, a passion so true, breaking it down just for me and you.